Welcome to PTI BetterGradesFast.com multimedia tutorials. This language arts session will be on punctuation. Now you always encounter punctuation in writing your sentences. These are the marks that tell you the differences in types of sentences that you have to write. They tend to seem very simple. However, to truly understand punctuation, we need to know the uses of each main form, and therefore we can be able to apply them correctly. Let us first look at full stops. Full stops can also be known as periods. Full stops are most commonly used at the ends of sentences, meaning a full stop is used to complete a thought. Another use, perhaps less common, of a full stop is to separate acronyms. Acronyms are letters which represent longer words. For example, the acronym for United States of America is USA. To correctly write this into a composition or a sentence, you need to write capital U, full stop, capital S, full stop, capital A, full stop. If you do not put the full stops between these letters, although it may seem simple, it will be wrong because you have left out an important piece of punctuation. Make sure that your full stops are clear and you write them very distinctly so that your teacher or you yourself will be able to see them when you are writing. We then go on to question marks. Question marks are used at the end of questions. This simply means that when you are saying something that requires some kind of answer, you need to put a question mark at the end. For example, if I say, "What is your age?" you need a question mark because you are expecting someone to reply with a number. A question mark is always followed by always follows an interrogatory sentence, meaning once something can give an answer, it needs a question mark. Exclamation marks are used at the ends of sentences that exclaim something, meaning it tells something exciting or something that has to be exaggerated. For example, "I cannot believe you ate the whole cake." Something like that would need an exclamation mark at the end. The person saying that sentence is very passionate about it, meaning they are excited and they show a lot of emotion. Therefore, a sentence like, "I cannot believe you ate the whole cake" needs punctuation like an exclamation mark. A full stop will not be appropriate there because the sentence has too much of an exciting tone to simply end with a full stop. The more appropriate form of punctuation will be an exclamation mark. Surprisingly, to some students, capital letters fall under our punctuation marks. Capital letters are easy for us to remember when they talk about the beginning of a sentence, meaning put a capital letter for the first letter of every word that starts a new sentence. Most students remember this. However, there are many other situations that you need capital letters that many students often forget. For example, specific names of people, countries, planets, etc. need capital letters. Days of the week, months of the year also also need capital letters. Nationalities, public holidays, and or festivals also use capital letters. So, for example, if you are writing a composition about Christmas Day, make sure that you have both the C in Christmas and the D in day capitalized, because that day is considered to be a public festival. If you are writing about a Japanese person, ensure that the J in Japanese is capitalized because it is a nationality. Keep in mind that your capital letters should be somewhat bigger than the other letters to ensure that your teacher knows the difference and can give you the appropriate marks. If all your letters look the same in height, then all your letters would seem to be common or capital. Therefore, your teacher will not know if you truly understand the meaning of capital letters and where they are used. Make sure that your writing is neat so that the capital letter stands out in comparison to the rest of the common ones. We then go on to hyphens. Hyphens are more commonly known as dashes. Hyphens express any break in a sentence or word. Usually, you see a hyphen in some compound words, usually compound adjectives. For example, if you are describing a bed as a king-sized bed, because both words make up one adjective, you need a hyphen in between. King-sized would be the correct way to write king-sized. Also, hyphens are used for compound numbers. Compound numbers are simply those that take more than one number to write them in words. For example, 65, 72, 41, 33. These are all compound numbers. So in between each number, you will need to write a hyphen when you are writing them in words. Remember to write your numbers in word form if you are using numbers in your composition. For example, if you are talking about your neighbor who has 33 cats, you will write 30-3. Do not put the numbers, put the words. And remember, when you are putting those words, you will therefore need your hyphens. We then go on to commas. Commas have many uses. However, the two main uses that we can recognize are when you are using direct speech, you need your comma before you write your quote. Also, commas are used when you list something in a sentence. For example, I have to go to the market to buy bananas, comma, lemons, comma, apples, comma, grapes, and once your list continues, after every item you will need a comma. The only time you do not need a comma is before the last item, because you will replace it with the word and. Commas are very useful and should be used according to their correct uses. They should not just be placed in a sentence randomly, because you will lose marks if you place a comma where it should not be. Another possible location for a comma is when there are phrases or clauses in the subject of a sentence. For example, after a dependent clause in a subject, you need a comma. An example of this is, after the phone rang, comma, I ran to see who called. Another example of how commas are used in subjects are when you have phrases. For example, my brother, comma, accompanied by his wife, comma, goes to Ireland every year. The phrase in that sentence, accompanied by his wife, is found between two commas. Finally, we are looking at inverted commas. Although the name has the word commas in it, it is nothing like the comma that we met before. Inverted commas are also known as quotation marks. These are needed for your direct speech. Inverted commas enclose the actual quote said by the person in your direct speech. For example, if I say, Jill says, I like to eat ice cream. I like to eat ice cream will be found between inverted commas because it's something that Jill directly says. Just to recap, full stops, end sentences, and they are also found in acronyms or letters that represent longer words. For example, U, full stop, S, full stop, A, full stop is the acronym for United States of America. Question marks, end questions, meaning any statement that requires an answer has to have a question mark at the end. Exclamation marks end any statement that is excitable in tone or that has to exaggerate a point. If you can have a shouting tone in a sentence, you need an exclamation mark. Capital letters are used when you are talking about specific names of people, countries, nationalities, the beginnings of sentences, festivals, days of the week, and many more. Hyphens are used when you have pauses in sentences, when you have compound numbers written in words, and also when you have some compound words. Commas are used to separate lists of things. They are also used in direct speech, and they can be used when you have phrases or clauses in the subjects of your sentences. Finally, inverted commas are used to hold direct speech in a sentence, meaning the quote that the person actually says has to be found between inverted commas. Remembering all these punctuation marks and using them correctly would help the grammar of your sentence and therefore help you to get better marks in your overall compositions. Also, when you are applying these punctuation marks, ensure that they are written neatly so that your teacher can see that you truly understand punctuation. Thank you for choosing PTI BetterGradesFast.com.